Welcome back to the Morning Blend. All winter long, Wisconsinites look forward to summer to get outside and enjoy the beautiful outdoors. But the COVID-19 pandemic has put many of our normal plans on hold.
Our next guest has some great ideas so your family can still do all the things they love, like hiking, biking, sightseeing, and so much more while still staying safe. So joining us now is Suzette Brewer. She's from the Native American Tourism of Wisconsin. We're so excited to have you. Thanks, Suzette.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
Absolutely. It's nice to have you. Let's talk a little bit about this campaign that you guys are launching. Why did the tribal nations of Wisconsin decide to launch this big campaign for recreation outdoors?
Well, there's a couple of different reasons, but I'll just go through them here. First and foremost, as you know, we're in the middle of a deep global health crisis. And so right now, I think everyone's really looking to get outside, and what better way to do that than to go hiking, biking, fishing, all those outdoor activities that we really haven't had a chance to do, as you know, in the last several months. And so I think now's the time for that. But I think also, importantly, we want people to think of tribes. We want them to think of tribes in their totality and all of the things that they have to offer in terms of tourism and recreation. That was an important point for us in developing this ad campaign, to ensure that the tribes, all of the things that they have to offer are available and top of mind for potential visitors to Wisconsin, and also those within Wisconsin who may not have thought about some of the many activities that we have.
I think you make such a great point about not just people visiting our state or coming from the outside, but also being a tourist in our own state and in our own neighborhoods, which is important too. And that's why I think what you're doing is so great. And that's letting people know what there is to offer as it relates to outdoors. So what are some of your favorite things or things that you like to share with people?
Well, kayaking for me is number one. I mean, I've done a lot of kayaking in the North Woods, and that's one of the things that on tribal lakes. And I think that's one of the things that people are really missing out on. I think Frog Bay National Tribal Park is another that is really spectacular. It's the first national tribal park in the country, and it's right there in Wisconsin, and it's exquisite. It has so many things to offer up there just in Frog Bay alone, but also Bad River and the other water-facing tribes, I think, are really, those are places where I think people don't normally think of when they think of Indian tribes. And so the important thing here is to take the 3D view of all the things that tribes have to offer.
I think you make a great point. And I wonder that as I'm kind of hearing you talk about all these incredible things that we can take part in and that maybe we're not even paying attention to in terms of opportunities to be outdoors in certain areas. Well, how big is the tourism industry among the Wisconsin tribes? What is the dependence there, and how much does it matter?
I'm glad you asked. Here's the thing. There are 11 tribes in Wisconsin, and the tribal nations there bring in something like approximately 1.3 billion in revenues to the state. And that doesn't include all of the state and federal taxes that are paid. That doesn't include all the ancillary businesses like that they have to have in order to do their tourism, like gas stations and restaurants and other ancillary businesses. The RV parks, for example, that's another thing. We have a number of RV parks in Wisconsin. We have 3 golf courses, 3 tribal golf courses, 2 of which are ranked top, probably at the top in the Great Plains. I mean, they are spectacular. Thornberry Creek, and then also the one up at LCO. Right now, the name is escaping me, but we have 3 tribally owned golf courses that I think people would really enjoy but they typically aren't aware of that. We also have Wolf River. There's kayaking there. There's, as you know, fishing. There's hiking. There's nature trails. Oneida has a number of outdoor activities available to the general public, including their camp where they have their longhouses and their cultural outdoor activities. I think that's one of the things that we really wanted to focus on with this campaign, is the sort of wide portfolio of things that the tribes have to offer in regards to tourism in Wisconsin.
Such a rich part of our history in Wisconsin, too, that is fun to share with our kids and among generations. Are there certain things people should be aware of as they visit tribal tourism areas?
Yeah, I think each tribe, they are not one moving sort of organism. Each tribe has its own rules and regulations. So I think it would be important before you visit the tribes to call first and ensure that, first of all, they're open. Like right now, I know that Frog Bay is closed to the general public, I think until June the 8th or June the 11th. So I think it's important for people to call first and find out kind of what is available, what is open, and then also to, ask about any social distancing measures that they may have. Because I know, for example, at the golf courses, they are in the process. All of them are open right now, but I know that they're, focused on sanitizing and disinfecting like all the other businesses. They're also social distancing, and respecting that. But the great thing is, with all of these things, that people can get outside. It doesn't have to be, indoors. And so I think it's just a much safer environment for tourists. And I think it's something that, everyone can agree on, that we all want to get outside.
I totally agree, Suzette.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Suzette.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. All right, to discover native Wisconsin and all of the natural wonders to enjoy, you can go to natow.org.